I had an issue getting to work. Oh wait, we started.
I thought that's how you were starting.
No, we should have started.
You
with
said
that.
ignore the countdown.
Well, I
and
didn't
then I
mean
couldn't ignore
like that.
the countdown.
Well, the problem is that you did ignore it. You just didn't even acknowledge it existed at all.
You ignored
think
it
you
too well
comprehended that it
until it
existed.
registered.
I literally drew attention to it. You still managed to ignore it somehow. That's impressive.
It's probably because you were the one saying.
Oh.
We're starting off
right.
today like that. Okay.
So happy brunch, everyone. Thank you all for joining us.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, good brunch, everyone. I was negligent in my brunch picking spot. Hold on.
Yeah, don't be negligent. Do it.
Yeah, just don't.
Period. Don't.
Have you
Okay,
ever
we-
needed to do something but didn't want to do something? Have you tried just don't and do it?
I need to go
I
find.
can't believe it's not butter.
I need to go find the meme post that's literally just don't, but over and over in different formats. 1 second. I'll go see if I can find it while Riley's finding where brunch is.
It's like Squidward saying future, or saying alone, that's what that was it. And then I'll be quite alone.
Hello, SpongeBob.
And why aren't you in uniform?
Let's see.
You like Krabby Patties, don't you, Squidward?
Okay, every time. No, this doesn't need to be. Never mind. We're not gonna.
What a fabulous start.
We've all
It's
had
okay, take your time.
Let's see. Oh wait, no, we can't do that. Let's do.
My mom has told me my laundry's done. It's not a good time.
Wait, what's done?
My laundry. I started laundry when I got home, right? I was doing my bedding. And so I did it once. They weren't all dry, so I threw it. I did it again, right, in the dryer. And all but one blanket was dry. So I just put the other one in for a third time, and it just finished like a little bit ago. Like, yeah,
It happens.
it does. It's kind of annoying. She also told me cake is downstairs, which I'll have to go and get later. Because
Typically, yeah, that's where you'd find it.
Huh?
What?
What?
Hmm?
Huh?
Hmm? What?
RJ, I
I
don't have cake.
know where brunch is, everybody.
Where is brunch,
Okay.
Riley?
Didun, I believe is how it's pronounced. Haiti. Happy brunch to Didun, Haiti.
Happy brunch, Dadun.
Happy brunch. They doing.
Yes.
Happy brunch to do.
Beautiful. Okay. Are you ready for today's topic, friends?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Today's topic is micro-conspiracies. Meaning, not like mainstream conspiracy theories, but like little conspiracy
Conspiracy.
theories. If I could, I can't read and I can't talk today. Gracious. Little conspiracy theories that you either are the sole holder of, or it's so niche that there are very very few people who hold that conspiracy theory.
Today's gonna be
My-
fun.
My example, if I can learn how to speak English. My example is there is this building, well, set of buildings that is on my way to work. Now the road that I take on my way to work is technically a highway, but it's one of those little tiny ones that are
like a
just
farm
like
to
from
market?
place to place. Kind of like a farm to market, but like it's not labeled as farm to market, you know?
Yeah.
And there are almost no red lights on it, like the entire way from one city to another. And about halfway between my city and where I work, there's this series of buildings. At first, it wasn't there. I watched that over the last 2 years, this facility is what I call it, get built up. It started with them coming down, tearing everything up, making it flat, and putting a giant area of gravel out. And then they put 8 single wide mobile home buildings inside of a fenced off area with razor wire around it. And then they have this barn next to the razor wired area that is, it's a full metal building. It doesn't have any markings on it, but anytime I see people come out of the building, mind you, I never see people go in, they're always wearing hazmat suits.
Whoa.
Yeah. And when they were first building the place, and even now, for the last 2 years, there are little, the little A-frame signs that are supposed to be temporary?
Yeah.
Right.
There are A-frame signs with the symbol for, caution explosive on it.
What?
Pointed the direction of the facility TM. And, I didn't know who owned it for, the longest time. Apparently, it is, a part of the, oil and gas industry that is state sanctioned in our state, supposedly, right? But the problem is, over the winter, it was completely abandoned. There was only a security person there inside of the little box that they have at the gate, right? Again, it's in the middle of nowhere. But now that summer's happening, there's people all over. And I don't know what the facility is for, right? But my conspiracy is that it's for seismic testing of some sort.
That would make sense.
The problem is it sprouted out at around the same time that planes and scary looking planes started flying really low over the closer town. Really, really low. So I don't know if that's accurate, but it's freaky.
I've seen that on the internet lately, really low flying planes recently, going over
less
neighborhoods
than
and
300
stuff.
feet in the air.
Yeah.
They're scary low. And the thing is, right, they're the ones that I've seen are old bomber planes. Out of commission bomber planes, mind you. So that's been weird. But it's also next to a town with a lot of very wealthy old people who have pilot's licenses. So that could also be an explanation. It's just weird. It makes me go, that's weird.
Well, as long as they don't create Godzilla, I guess it'll be fine.
Just a quick Google search on recent low-flying planes. Now, I don't know how much people here trust AI overview. You shouldn't do further research, but just for a quick, synopsis. Apparently, there have been more low-flying planes recently in various locations due to geological surveys, and others due to safety concerns. So
it could be seismic.
They could be
research.
connected.
See, that's what I was thinking. It's these things are happening at the same time. I wonder why, and what's with the explosives? I don't know.
And why is there one person in the guard shack?
But there's literally no other cars here.
Oh, no.
And what's with the razor wire? Are you keeping prisoners in there? Hello?
I mean, My work has razor wire around the outside of it.
Yeah, but your work has, previous implications of dangerous individuals. So
That's gonna give so many people the wrong idea.
That's okay.
Jay works at an airport.
I do. I do.
Oh, I was going to say you should have just left it as a mystery.
No, we
Oh.
should have. Cut it out. Cut it out. Quick.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, let me cut it out and post right now.
Right
Um,
now. Right now is post. This is the end of the episode.
This is post.
I have a kind of a similar experience nearby. It's actually really close to my work, over where I used to live. Not necessarily like testing facility, but there's like I guess like an old like shopping mall. It's like one of those like buildings where there are like not necessarily a strip mall. It's like a whole like outlet, right? But it's basically completely abandoned at this point, with the exception of like some mattress stores kind of on the outlying areas, not like the actual like main building. But I remember driving past there when I was younger, and there were some shops, but like very few. But there was like, a jewelry store. I think there was one called like Haverty's or something.
Oh yeah, that's a furniture store.
Yeah, I figured. I just couldn't remember because it's been a long time. But the building is basically all but abandoned at this point. And I'm like, I bet you that's the entrance to the back rooms. Like, if you try to sneak into that building, I guarantee you're not coming back. Because it's been years, and there's no seeming like plans for development or renovation. And I get that it's kind of like a dead area, because where it's at is very hard to reach if you don't know where you're going because of the way the roads are structured, because it's kind of tucked in underneath the freeway, and the roads there are kind of difficult to navigate because they all kind of go in like one big loop because it's a one-way. So if you miss it, you gotta swing all the way around. But anyway, and then also in addition to that, across the freeway is an actual like larger shopping mall. And so I can imagine that it kind of choked out whatever business that building would have gotten. But it's been abandoned for at least a decade, if not more. And so it's just it kind of gives an eerie vibe where it's like, okay, so like who owns this building and why are they not concerned with doing anything with it? Like it hasn't been deconstructed. It hasn't been renovated. There haven't been businesses there in years. It's all very eerie and mysterious.
I just need to, like, pull up a stand over there where, like, current gear. Ladies and gentlemen,
bring
step
your
right up
mic closer
to
to your mouth, Aiden?
There we go.
Perfect.
Hi, guys.
Thank you.
Hello.
You're welcome.
Hello.
Anyhow,
What were we saying?
I'd like to bring a stand up there and, like, full carny gear and just, like, ladies and gentlemen, step right up for the abandoned back rooms. $50 a ticket.
That would
You
be
should.
so
It would
funny.
probably drum up more business than the building has.
Right.
Considering it's been abandoned for what, 10 years, I think you said?
Fabulous. I just
At
need to
least.
take this business model and, I guess, travel across the country.
Heck
You definitely could.
Are there any laws against using abandoned property for money?
Yeah. I mean,
There's no laws against the Pokemon, Batman.
Oh,
if you
no.
if you figure out who owns it and work out like a temporary agreement, kind of like a Spirit Halloween,
Like a Spirit Halloween at the same time as a Spirit Halloween. I just pop up out of nowhere, like spawn into existence.
You
So the tour in the back rooms, and then just as fast as I appeared, I disappear.
That's the thing, though. I'm actually kind of surprised that Spirit hasn't moved into that building. Like, they have other buildings in the area that I guess they prefer because, again, accessibility. But, like, I'm also kind of surprised that, like, a business hasn't bought it out for, like, a corporate office. Because I'm sure if you tore down, like, the the walls on the inside, it would actually make for a really good office space. But I don't know. It's a mystery, and it has had me scratching my head for many years.
It's a mob front.
Probably.
You know what that reminds me of? Not mob front, just the building RJ's been describing to us.
What?
There's a church near where I live that had been under construction for, I kid you not, like 10 years. Like 5 or 10 years. Yeah, so they laid the foundation for it, and they didn't touch it for like a year or two or something like that. Then they put up like the support beams or whatever, like the metal beams for the structure, and then they just left it. Then they did like the roofing and the walls, but didn't put a door on it, so you could just see into the inside of this building. And it was like still unfinished. And it's very slowly cobbled together, like over the course of like 5 or 10 years, like half my life, literally. And it's like, what were they doing? There are so many things that could have gone wrong while you've been building this. Like the metal support beams for the roof and the walls of the church could have gotten rusted. The wood paneling for the inside could have gotten moldy while you were waiting to put like the cement on the outside. Like so much stuff. And I'm like, how is this building?
Which city is this in?
Mine. It's my city.
Oh, okay. Well, if it was in the city that Aiden and I used to live in, I could tell you exactly what the problem was.
Here, I'll
That
send you.
is-
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'd like to point out that Jay owns a city.
It is my city. Specifically Lego City, which is why it was taken so long to. But no,
That's fabulous.
It's you know what it probably is? Somebody in that church probably ticked off a council member.
You know
Because-
what? I'd believe it.
That's what happened with my old karate master. Is they were going to build the international headquarters in our old city, right? They had a piece of land purchased for it. It was zoned for, business properties and all that. But then my master ticked off a city council member, like super
no.
bad. And they could not get permitting for anything. It took them like 3 years to pour foundation. I don't even think they did. I think they just dug where they were going to put the foundation.
My goodness.
And then they had to just sell it. Like it
I was
never
gonna
came to
say,
fruition.
There's the address. for
Building
anybody wondering.
things in Texas, though, is just exceptionally slow. Like, I don't know. I mean, I know y'all know, but in case you didn't know, if you're not from Texas, roads here take decades to complete. There are freeways that were in the process of construction when my family moved here in 2000 that are still being worked on.
And they're the same ones that my mom learned how to drive on while they were in construction in the 80s.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not a fun
But-
time.
I can tell you why, at least the conspiracy theory as to why that is the case.
Well, that is on topic.
Let's go.
hear it.
Give it to us, Riley. Lay it on
So-
thick.
According to my Texas government professor at the college that I went to, which is a required class in the great state of Texas, FYI. She didn't like the fact that it was a required class, so she spilled all the tea.
Beautiful.
Texas gets something like $7 billion in federal loans and grants for our roads every year. It's very easy when the roads are constantly under construction to continue to receive said grants, and many of the funds of those grants get shuffled around elsewhere often. So if they continue to have the same roads under construction for extended periods of time, they can have a reliable source of income for #other things.
There is a road that like passes, what is it? Over? I think it's under the road that I take to work every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I swear that highway has been under construction my entire life.
It probably has.
It probably has. Oh, I know this church.
Yeah, it's over by where Aiden went to school.
Yeah.
It's just
Speaking
a little
of
bit past
school.
It
it.
doesn't even have a sign.
No, it doesn't.
What do you have, RJ?
I have a personal conspiracy theory about specifically the community college I went to. So they have
The same one that I went to?
yes.
Okay.
My theory. So they have like student advisors there that are supposed to help you like pick which courses you need in order to like get specific degrees or to like transfer to university, stuff like that. They're supposed to help guide you like academically, like as far as like your courses go. And in my experience, every single one of them was the most incompetent person I would have ever expected to see working in that capacity.
You can't hear me, but I'm
And-
snapping.
And I feel like this is done intentionally because if the student is so confused and is constantly getting different information about what classes and courses they need, they have to stay there an extra year because, oh, well, you actually need this course and you need this course. And so that's how they keep you there, and that's how they keep getting tuition from you, because you have to keep taking different classes because one advisor tells you one thing, and then a year later you meet with a different advisor and they tell you something different. Because that's what happened to me.
I hate that. I abhor that.
It was the worst.
I was supposed to be in and out of there in 2 years, and I was there for 3.5 before I finally ended up dropping it because I was like, this is not worth my time anymore.
Yeah. No.
But yeah,
I
that's my theory.
requested my credits from them like 3 times, and the college that I was trying to get transferred into never received it.
Yep,
It was bad.
that makes sense.
I technically still owe the university I went to $50 for dropping out.
This isn't necessarily a conspiracy theory, but it's something that happens to me in regards to college.
Okay.
That was just really weird. So this one's up to the listeners in the comments, wherever you are. Subreddit, Facebook, whatever groups you make.
Subreddit.
Y'all make a theory for me. So I didn't do college traditionally. I went to a trade school looking for welding. I'm not a welder. I'm something different. That's another story for another day. But one of the places I went to try and learn welding, it had really good reviews. So we went over there, and everyone seemed decent and nice, especially for, and I hate to sound this way, but especially for blue collar, it was very nice.
No offense taken.
Yeah, it's none meant, and I'm also kind of at least like off blue color.
Sky
Anyhow,
blue.
yeah, sky blue color. Anyhow, they had me fill out an application, that they kept, like all sorts of stuff, documents that they would keep. And I went in and I took this aptitude test because everyone had to, and they said that they would come back, they'd like contact me or something. So I left. About a week goes by and I haven't heard anything. So we drive over there to see what's up, and it's not even that they forgot me. It's like I didn't even exist over there. I had no files under my name. It was as if I had not been there at all.
So basically, they threw away your file.
I'm
At least
thinking
that's
what it
conspiracy
is.
theory.
Maybe, but also like they didn't recognize me. There was nothing. Yeah, they had no clue who I was.
I
That is
had
so
that
weird.
happen on my first day at a job once, but not because I think it was just a communication breakdown. But I went where I was supposed to go, and they were like, "Who are you?" And I was like, "I'm me." And they were like, "Well, we don't have anything that says that you're you. What are you doing here?" I was like, "I don't know. They told me to come here."
Yikes.
Yeah, and then they refused to call me RJ. They're like, "No, we're gonna call you your actual name because RJ is they're my initials." But they were like, "Yeah, we can't use your initials." And I was like, "But that's the name that I go by." And they're like, "Well, we're just gonna call you this instead." And I was like, "Okay."
We'll just call you Rosalind Jackie.
Rosalind Jackie.
That's totally your
That's
name.
that's my name. I'm Rosalind.
I'm gonna start calling you that
Rosalind Jackie.
IRL.
I am like the wind. I'm Rosalind the leaves, I think.
Rosalind.
And I'm Jacqueline the branches.
Hey, yo.
There will be no branch Jackling in this. Not in my Christian Minecraft version.
So
Oh no.
also, I don't really have any mini conspiracy theories, really.
Mm-hmm.
At least on the scale that y'all have it. So I decided to look up what makes like a local conspiracy theory, something small, right?
Yeah.
And I have some answers if y'all want to know.
I would love to know.
All right.
Enlighten us.
Give us
So,
knowledge.
I'm going to have y'all picture this. Sorry, Jay. So, I'm here in my mini suit, mini me, with a presentation. I tear the page off. The first thing that you need is you need scope and focus. You need to localize the subject matter. So unlike global or national conspiracy theories, a local conspiracy theory will evolve around an event, situation, or entity directly tied in a particular place. Some examples it could be about like a company in a town, local government decisions, unexplained phenomena. The second thing you need are the key elements of a conspiracy theory. And I think we all know what that is.
Something to conspire.
That's right. A secret plot, conspirators, suspicions and distrust, and lack of evidence.
Yes.
In order to have a perfect conspiracy theory, you have to have little to no evidence of this thing that you 100% believe in. The third thing you need is impact and reach. Now, that one can be tricky because you would think, oh, I need to impact and reach globally around the world. But the thing is, because it's a local conspiracy theory, social media is not really a go-to. And if you go further than just the town or region that you want to stay in, you're in the wrong. You want to just talk to some of the gossipers at town. That's it. That's it. that makes your local conspiracy theory. And that is why we have a local conspiracy theory in our town of a witch's tomb.
Wait, we do?
Yes, I looked it up.
That's cool. Hold
There's
on,
also
I want to hear
a
this.
phantom stagecoach, Bigfoot sightings.
Well, obviously, I'm here. Duh.
We found the Bigfoot. Conspiracy theory over. We
done
have
it.
evidence.
We have evidence. Quick, put this on blast for your city.
Anyhow, the witch's tomb is located at fill in the blank cemetery. I'll tell you later. It's associated with a local woman that was rumored to be a witch. Legend claims that a man driven by mad grief built the tomb with a glass door to see her, and he eventually bricked himself inside.
Oh,
So, like,
Nice.
his hardware crashed?
He was bricked.
I think he
I was
crashed the tomb.
Oh.
I was trying so hard to find a delicate way to make a joke, and I couldn't, so I didn't say anything.
Who needs to
then
be
the,
delicate around here?
We probably
We
do.
do.
We want to continue to be PG.
On our own main street, there are tales that speak of a phantom stagecoach that appears.
That might be why you keep getting mail that's not yours.
They, the
Dadgum phantom
stagecoach delivers
stagecoach.
it.
We figured
No.
it out.
Is it the Wells Fargo wagon?
Oh, snap.
Well, it can
Yeah.
take Darlene's mail elsewhere, please.
I definitely didn't have my own conspiracy theory. I hope that this helps.
No, that helped. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Mike, I can't tell if you were being serious. Do you have a conspiracy theory for yourself?
I have huge ones. I don't have tiny ones.
Oh, okay.
That's
Well.
fair.
Yeah.
Well, no, you do. You do.
Do I?
I mean, I would consider, well, kind of.
Why don't you,
there's
like,
evidence
Put
for
it in the
them.
chat,
Okay.
and I'll see.
Yeah, let's
I'll see if that's something that I'm
send it to
gonna like
you. Where
throw
are
out there.
you?
In the meantime, everyone put down your tiny baby conspiracy theories.
Yes. Leave a comment. Smash that like button. Make sure to subscribe.
Smash that conspiracy theory.
I don't know if I can talk about that one. Legally now.
That's
That's
true.
fair.
Oh, I forgot you signed an NDA.
What?
That's wild.
Also,
Is that permanent? Is there an expiration date on
Oh,
that?
no,
We might need
you-
to circle back around to this.
there is a, don't worry. It's actually a really safe one. It was because I can't talk about that.
I nearly got it.
Well, if
But
we
you tried.
ever
You tried to get me. I see. See what you're doing.
if we ever get to be able to if and when the NDA ever lifts, we'll circle back around to that because I am so very interested.
I am so keen on this.
Well,
I
told y'all about it before. It's all right.
Well, you shouldn't
Oh.
say that.
Well, he was
That was
talking
before
about
I
it
signed it.
before he signed the NDA. So.
Oh. Okay,
Yeah.
fair. Well, in any case, I have a relatively small local one. So I don't know if y'all have ever seen the little like mosaic like pixel art around town. It hasn't really been a thing lately.
I've seen some of it.
There'll be like little like Pac-Man characters or like Mario, kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah,
on
yeah.
those like the concrete bases of like streetlights or like sewer runouts, stuff like that, just kind of around town. Again, I haven't really seen them in a while, but I also haven't been looking for them. My theory is that those were not just random street art, but were markings for like hot drops or meeting points or like a method of communication for people.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I mean,
Obviously, I don't have any way of confirming any of this, but That was my
Why
theory
it's a
whenever I
conspiracy
first started
theory.
seeing them pop up.
I think that sounds accurate to me. I don't know, unless we have our own pixel art Banksy out there, you know.
I mean, I know
feel
my
like it-
city.
Go
What?
ahead.
My city has done something sort of similar. They have like art on all the electrical boxes by like stoplights.
Yeah, well, mine does that too. But I think it's more akin to like graffiti. They're not like city. They're like small little things that people would put with like I don't know, some kind of crafting cement, I guess. Yeah. But like I said, I haven't seen them in a while, so it might have just been like a fad. But I remember I would just be, driving around town and I'd see these things everywhere and I'm like, huh, that's suspicious.
I do know that pixel art was a trend there for a minute. Like post Panini.
Post Panini?
Why does nobody get it when I say
I
Panini?
know what you mean. It's the
Are you talking
crown.
about the pandemic?
Yes!
Okay. I feel
You
like
have permission to tell that story.
One time when Aiden was still streaming on Twitch, right? It was during the period where, like, if you mentioned Corona or pandemic, like, out loud, you would get shadow banned or you would get, like, taken down.
So
you know?
wild.
It was a wild time. So I started using Panini as my, code word, also because I thought it was funny. But Aiden didn't get it. And so I was on his stream talking about something that I had picked up during the Panini, like some craft I was doing. And it took Aiden like 15 minutes to figure out what it was that I was trying to say. He was like, "What do you mean panini? What is a panini?"
I'm pretty sure I didn't even figure it out. You just...
No, I had to come
Yeah.
into your room and have you mute and say, "Pandemic. I mean the pandemic." So, but like, pandemic is such a serious word. And I know it was a serious time, but I'm not a serious person. So, panini.
As
There
you
you have it.
should.
That's
Yeah.
just in. The coronavirus, the coronavirus Panini.
Oh, I have an old conspiracy theory that ended up being proven fact.
Oh, it's
Mm.
not really conspiracy then, Eddie.
It's not really a conspiracy theory anymore because it is true. There is a cobblestone road that runs through one of the major cities near us. That was built in the early 1800s. And there were tons of ghost stories and things surrounding this road. Specifically, the people would say that there were bodies buried underneath it because prisoners and slaves typically were the ones who had to build the road, and if they died because of heat exhaustion, they were just bricked into the road. And turns out there are human remains underneath that road that probably did just die and they were bricked over. But they didn't know that for the longest time. Like, that was just an old wives' tale. And I'm over here
Wow.
thinking, how very Great Wall of China of you.
Oh, Lord.
But yeah,
That
that's
is very
a fun
interesting.
One.
There have been bodies found while breaking ground on one of my places of work, the campus of one of my places of work. Found out very recently.
Just some casual bodies on a
I-
campus. No
well,
big deal.
And the way I found this out too, thanks to my boss, who I know listens to us, he was talking about this. He brought it up nonchalantly at work, like, what was it, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that. And I'm like, wait, what?
No,
I think,
hey, Jay. Bodies. Dead bodies.
yeah. That's basically how it went.
Wild.
Apparently, from what I've gathered, it used to be a plantation where this campus is.
That would make sense.
So there's like old shed remains buried underground too, and like buildings and stuff.
That would be a fun, archaeological.
An
Is that-
archaeological project that wouldn't happen because there's stuff there now.
Well, I mean, that's quitters talk. They do it in Portugal all the time. When does it shift from anthropology to archaeology?
I've seen this meme, and
No, I didn't even know it was a meme. I'm genuinely curious.
That's a good question. I don't have the answer because I'm not well read enough on either to know. But I've seen memes about this, and there was an archaeologist, like a historical archaeologist, that like responded on this like Tumblr post. It was like, as an archaeologist, this is a very important question and kind of awkward.
I have an answer.
Give us the knowledge, Aiden.
There's no time limit or point where grave robbing, quote unquote, becomes archaeology.
Well, that's grave robbing. I'm talking about like excavating buildings and things like that.
That's true. I was doing the meme. When does excavation become archaeology? Let's do that.
Well, it's not excavation, it's anthropology.
Okay, what do you want me to research here? You said a building excavation, so I typed excavation.
I want you to research ophthalmology.
Another video.
I
Me?
spelled that wrong. Why is it offering me dresses?
I think
When
you
it-
know why.
Oh, God.
Alright.
Ophthalmology. Why do I need to research ophthalmology, RJ?
Oh, I don't know. Aiden was asking what he should research, and so I just threw out the first word that popped into my brain, which was ophthalmology.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Any
I have
other
any other.
conspiracy
I
theories?
had one, but I thought of it a week and a half ago and forgot to write it down. Which is very inconvenient for me.
Yeah, I don't really have any others off the top of my head.
Well, no, that one's kind of big.
Yeah, say it anyway. We got some time to kill.
Okay. Nobody hate me for this.
Oh boy.
The reason workers aren't being allowed to stay in work from home or home working is yes, because like big businesses don't want to lose their lease or even ownership of like large campuses and things like that. But also the owners of companies who have like skyscrapers or stuff like that use buildings and the debt that comes with them as a form of currency. And so if they lose the leases inside, they lose a lot of money, and the hierarchy of, socioeconomic, political nonsense, the stratosphere collapses. So we're just, those of us who work in big buildings are just pawns to keep buildings the currency of buildings alive.
Interesting. I'd never heard that before. That is definitely an interesting thought.
I don't know if that's entirely accurate, but I feel like it's accurate because there's no other real explanation as to why. With people being
Yeah.
both happier and healthier working from home, like at least 80% of the time.
Yeah, personally, I never understood that because it's like, if I'm capable of getting all of my work done, like, well and on time, like, I don't understand why there would be a problem.
It's because they need you in order to use the building's debt to play with big money.
To play with big money, big monopoly bucks.
The building is
Big
collateral.
monopoly bucks. Yes.
Hmm.
Yes.
It's also collapsible.
It's like a
Depending on
domino.
the
If I knock
frequency of
one
your-
over, the next one over will also fall over.
Oh, I do have a local conspiracy. Oh,
Okay.
I completely forgot about this one. And I have semi-available proof that it's a thing. There is an entire city in the state of Texas that was knowingly built on an active fault line, the only active fault line in our state. And it is a massive business center with like skyscrapers and everything, right? Like huge business center. Almost nobody actually lives there. And I believe that the reason they built there specifically was for insurance payouts.
I mean, that would make
That's
sense.
Funny.
It is the only true active fault line in the state of Texas, at least like of that size. And what's worse is my dad works there or used to work there. And so like anytime there was any sort of an earthquake, my dad was there in like the 40th floor of a building.
It's not nerve-wracking at all.
Not at all. Not at all. And the thing is, right? The only reason I know this is because my great uncle was one of the geologists or engineers who was consulted in the original building of that like little city. Because I don't like that's not widely available knowledge. Like you could look it up, but why would you, you know?
Yeah.
And he heavily advised against it because the safety is not there. But, you know, money.
Kind of related, but not really conspiracy theory related. I saw a video sometime last week, I think, of fault line shifting, like the plates shifting, and it was like it was caught on a CCTV camera of like some building, and you could see like the entire ground shift, and it was such a weird thing to like witness. Not physically, obviously, but like it was a really strange thing to see happen. Just the entire ground moving, and it's like I know it's natural and it happens, but like I'd never seen it before. It was just kind of
Mhm.
wild.
Yeah.
But imagine that, except the building that you're in. Imagine just seeing the other half of the office space just all of a sudden slide 70 feet to the left. You're like, oh, okay, goodbye.
That's not good.
Like, I know that wouldn't realistically happen to a building, but it's really funny to think about.
Yes.
Yes. Very much so.
I did Google
Oh.
the
Mhm.
difference
Mhm.
between archaeology and anthropology.
Oh, yes,
God.
yes, yes.
Archaeology is supposedly a subfield of anthropology.
Oh,
So it's like an umbrella
it's a
thing.
squares and rectangles situation. Got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not. At some point, archaeology it would be necessary to continue anthropology. Is what I
Right.
gathered. So
That makes sense. That
So
makes
all-
sense.
Archaeology is anthropology, but not the other way around.
Right.
yes.
Oh, very interesting.
That is
I don't know when I'll ever
cool.
apply this information, but that's good to know.
You get a new shiny wrinkle in your brain.
So to whoever that was on Tumblr that posted the meme that apparently the four of us, are the only one who's seen, there's your answer.
If this information was helpful to you, let us know in the comments. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe. Oh, anyone else got any
Wild stuff.
conspiracy theories? Cool.
I mean, I got one more in me now that I've
Okay.
started thinking about that, but I've talked a lot today.
I mean, it's your episode, so like
That's
you're
fair.
welcome to talk.
So there's not a lot of research behind this. I don't think it's peer reviewed, but one of the companies my dad worked for conducted research as to why there was seismic activity involved in the production of oil, or like bringing oil up out of the ground, right? Obviously, fracking is one of the answers, right? But there's another lesser known answer that they came up with, and that is pumping. Almost all oil companies pump the water that comes up with oil back into the ground in other places, not back where they found it. Because it's kind of unusable. It's vaguely radioactive. It's not good water. And there's no real way to dispose of it, so they just pump it back down into the ground in random places. At least according to what I have been told and what I remember. And what they saw happen was it re-lubricates dormant tectonic plates when they do that. And that can cause earthquakes that are related to the oil and gas industry.
I feel like lubing up tectonic plates is not.
No, it's not. It's not a great vibe. But they don't know what else to do with it, and that's the cheapest way to get rid of it.
Oh boy.
And they're all about cheap, especially if an oil company gets taken over by accountants.
But you could, like, sunflowers eat radiation.
Yeah, but not fast enough. And also you have to pay for the sunflowers, and pay to keep them alive, and pay for the water to be stored somewhere.
Or you could sell the radioactive water to sunflower farms.
Yeah, but then
Why would
what
they
is
buy
the latent radioactivity going to do to, like, the bugs or the other wildlife on that farm? Like mice and rabbits and things. Like it could wreak havoc with the ecosystem.
I'm hanging up my carny hat. This is too difficult.
That's why they pump it back into the ground. Yeah. But again, that's not a peer-reviewed study that I know of, and that happened like 10 years ago. So that is a thought. A conspiracy.
There's always a
if you will.
thought.
But yeah, that's it. That's everything I have.
I would like B thought, please.
B thought. You can have
Cool.
V thought.
Okay.
Aiden, you got highlights for us, buddy?
Do I have what?
Words, brother. The words.
I do. I do have words.
Excellent.
This broadcast was brought to you by Great Start, Explosives, Postman, Cut, The Back Rooms, Jay's City, Colleges, not sponsored, Abor, Rosalind Jackie, not sponsored, NDA, Panini, Bodies, The Great Lease Machine, Anthropology versus Rectangles, and the lube of doom. Thank you for listening.
Not the doom. Not the lube of doom.
I might need to make that my status.
The lube
Oh,
of doom.
no.
Y'all gotta be careful
Okay.
with that. That was my nickname in high school.
Oh no.
All right, Spoodier. Get it.
Oh no.
Thank you so much for watching. Happy brunch to Dadoon Haiti. I hope I said that right, and if I didn't, please don't tell me. I would like to die in peace. And have a good brunch, everybody else.
You can tell me to do in Haiti. I won't let her know, but I'll know. Happy brunch.
Brunch.
Good brunch.
Happy brunch, y'all.
Bye.